Boah, fast in die Kante. So, ja. Willkommen zurück zur neuen Folge Genshin Impact. Alter, ich bin so am der Kante. Eieiei. So, in der letzten Folge, ja, was hier geschehen wurde? Wir haben einen Hexe-End, die besucht wurden. Furina hat sich hier etwas zu verbergen. Keine Ahnung, was hier vor sich gehen würde. Aber das Rätsel wird sich halt bald auflösen. Und nun hat sich wieder unsere Erinnerung gehabt. Und die Zeit wird drastisch verändern. Aber es wird nicht mehr so 15. Ja, nicht mehr 14:30 sein. Also, dann müssen wir schnell sein. Weil Wasserkatastrophe von Telfood. Ende. Oh ja, jetzt ist Nacht. Jetzt wird es nicht mehr als 10 Stunden sein. 10 Stunden.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food. Really? Oh, you're the best! You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know. Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that. Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me? When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
Ja, das hat er recht.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So, she mentioned me? What did she say?
Bedenke, Mona habe ich halt zuerst gesehen. Also, es war ein Monster. Also.
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist. Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary traveler and Paimon? Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count? Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Du willst mich wirklich interviewen?
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Apropos Interview, es gibt es ja auch einige Leute, die man auch sowas machen. Was fange ich an von meiner Story? Ach ja, ich weiß. Beziehungsweise, ich sage als Beispiel, meine Mutti hat das ja Interview gemacht. Und die war auch im Fernsehen dabei. Und da dachte ich mir, als ob es im Fernsehen ist. Also von meiner Aussage. Da habe ich ja nicht wirklich gedacht, ein Interview zu machen. Aber von der Interview war ich nicht bereit dafür. Also wenn ich ein Interview wäre, als Zeuge oder ähnliches, oder was damit Rückblicke von der Vergangenheit, was in der Stadt auf sich hat. Tja, das sind ja die Stories, was ich ja gesagt habe. Aber genug mit der Story von mir. Wir sind jetzt im Spiel wieder.
Why not? If I say
Wir
you're
sind
worth
im
an
aktuellen
interview,
Lage.
you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare. Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then? Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and...
Na, falls wenn die Katastrophe
so much
vorüber
to get
ist.
done now. Talk to you later. Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
Tja, von der Zeit habe ich ja gesagt, es wird nicht mehr als neun Stunden sein.
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless.
Das ist genauso ähnlicher wie Hyrule von Zelda. Also Hyrule ist es ja wie der Schloss oder so. Aber also so in der Ähnlichkeit im Spiel von Genshin. Das ist auch fast da wie Fontaine Hyrule nennen würde. Naja, an den Namen muss ich dann noch bearbeiten.
And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations. That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
Auf das Meer. Drei Stunden. Bis die Katastrophe
Sea
kommt.
breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Ja.
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Teyvat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Wenn ich die Wahl hätte. Genau wie es Charlotte vorhin gesagt hat. Man kann wirklich nicht plötzlich eine vernünftige Antwort geben.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things.
Bis dieser Moment
Either
eintrifft.
with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Bis dieser Moment eintrifft, werde ich meine Reise fortsetzen.
You mean still traveling?
Indem ich die Welt bewundern kann.
Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Ganz Teyvat will ich erkunden. Jedes einzelne Detail. Bis ich eine Antwort habe.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillac sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
Du denkst also, dass wir gesuchte Kriminellen sind?
Not all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Okay. Ich höre.
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
Was?
Riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Furina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Furina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Furina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Furina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
Ich verstehe nun die Situation. Okay, Leute, ich weiß warum, aber seid nicht böse, weil die Steintafel, die wir schon vorher gesehen haben, sind 100% wahr geworden. Wir sind in den dritten Bild, also den dritten Steintafel angelangt.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation.
Es
but
kann sein, dass
he
es eine
didn't say
Verbindung
anything
ist.
else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the palais now.
Da wollen wir
Well,
mal.
sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Du hast es wirklich schnell begriffen.
If we know Furina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone.
Ja, und die Zeit?
When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Furina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh?
Nun, es hat dir offenbar gut getan, Detektivin zu werden.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Ja, schnell. Wir haben nicht mehr als 45 Minuten. Und Mission abgeschlossen. Keine Quest? Schauen wir mal. Okay, 30 Urgesteine, hä? Tag des Urteils. Ach du Heimatland. Das wird... Ja. Da wollen wir mal. Es ist an der Zeit, dass die Zeit gekommen wird.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Furina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
Ich glaube, ich habe ihn.
That's Furina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Sei erstmal ruhig.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Furina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Furina.
Who's that?
Don't worry, Furina, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects, come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Furina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
Meine Gedanken lügen nie. Du bist die einzige Hoffnung.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts? They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marsh Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Tu dir keinen Zwang an, Furina.
Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Furina, those people seem to be after you.
They are... They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Furina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Alter, hier wird eine Verfolgung geben.